kidney, its blood supply. This is the adrenal gland right here, which we will take up in some detail later on down the line. All right, inside of the kidney. So this pink part right here represents the cortex. This brown part represents the medulla. These individual things here are called renal pyramids or medullary pyramids. Right? They end in little nipple-like projections called papillae that drain the urine into these collecting areas called calyces. This is a minor calyx. One is a calyx. There's another minor calyx. There's one, there's one, there's one, there's one, so forth. Those minor ones open into bigger channels like this. Here's some minors emptying into them. These bigger channels are major calyces. And they take the urine to this renal pelvis, which is right here. The renal pelvis then is continuous with the ureter. All right? These kidneys over here.
I'm trying to keep it from shaking. It's okay.
Okay.
I'm trying to keep from swaying. You help me, I'll help you.
No, that's
Okay.
no good. Okay, this one here is showing you pretty much the same thing. Now, this area right here, this indented area, that's a hilum of the kidney, or hilus. Remember, that's just a generic area where things enter and leave an organ. All right, so in this one, this would be the hilus right here. Now, this is cortex out here, isn't it? And this is medulla. All right, now this area in here, where you see the light blue and the blood vessels, that's a space in there called the renal sinus. A sinus is just a space, isn't it? So this is a renal sinus. What's in there? Well, blood vessels and the calyceal system. And there's also probably some fat on the outside of all of this. Of course, the fat's been removed. All right? So, for example, blood supply, here's renal artery, here's a segmental artery, a lobar artery, an interlobar artery. Notice the interlobar arteries are going between the renal pyramids, and they curve and become arcuate arteries at the top. Here's an arcuate artery. Coming off the arcuate arteries, you have many of these straight vessels here called interlobular arteries. These are interlobar. These are interlobular.
Can we use the cortical radiate, because having them radiate out reminds me of that?
Yes,
Okay.
you can. I didn't mention that. I didn't mention that. They are also known as cortical radiate arteries. Good point. Thank you for reminding me. So these are interlobular arteries. Now the little branches coming off of them are afferent arterioles. All right. Here is a minor calyx. Here's a minor one, a minor one, a minor, a minor. And these are major ones down here, you see, where they expand. All right? Put this over here. Put this over here.
I'm confused, interlobular.
All right.
Interlobular.
Now,
Right.
so we got a kidney that's bivalved or cut open, and again, it's similar to those over there. Here's blood supply, venous drainage. Okay, so here is cortex, and here's medulla. The darker brown is medulla. These are renal pyramids or medullary pyramids. Here. Here are the minor calyces. At the end of these little renal pyramids are called papillae. So this one is a papilla, renal papilla. So here's a minor calyx, a minor calyx, a minor, a minor, a minor, a minor, and here would be a major one right here, you see, the big ones. Here's the renal pelvis, ureter. So here is renal artery, segmental artery, lobar artery, interlobar, arcuate, interlobular, or cortical radiate arteries. All right, now here is a nephron. We blow it up and look at it right here. You know, when you look at this, these are arcuate arteries, aren't they? Right here, and veins. So below that is medulla. Above that is cortex. We know it's cortex because we see renal corpuscles up here. So here is arcuate artery, interlobular artery or cortical radiate, afferent arteriole, glomerulus, efferent arteriole. Under my finger is a renal corpuscle. It consists of a glomerular or Bowman's capsule, a glomerulus, and a subcapsular space, which you don't see in this little bitty thing. We'll see it over here. All right, coming away from the renal corpuscle, we begin the convoluted tubule system. So this is proximal tubule. Proximal convoluted tubule. It's called proximal because it's proximal to the loop. So now as we dip below arcuate vessels into the medulla, we're in the loop of Henle. This is the descending limb. This is the ascending limb. You might notice that parts of it are thinner than others, but it has to do with the height of the epithelium, not the size of the tube. All right, so we come back. When we get back to cortex, now we're in the distal convoluted tubule. So it comes up here like this, comes over, and stops right there. This is collecting duct. At the end of this is going to be a minor calyx. All right, this is a blown up view of this right here. So what's under my hand? What's the whole thing called?
Corpuscle.
Renal corpuscle.
Corpuscle, yeah.
Renal corpuscle. All right. It's got an afferent arteriole and an efferent arteriole. Afferent goes into the glomerular capillaries. Efferent drains away. Okay. This is the capsule. This is the glomerular capsule or Bowman's capsule. This space in here is the subcapsular space. The kidneys filter the blood. The filtrate collects in this space and heads down this tube. What tube? What's the name of this tube?
Proximal convoluted tube or something.
Collecting tube.
Proximal convoluted
Okay,
tube.
that's the Henle loop.
Okay, proximal convoluted tubule. Now, how do I know this is afferent arteriole and this is efferent?
Because that one's coming in and that one's going in.
Well, that's true. But there's some other little goodies in here. You see this? All this business,
Oh, okay.
which we'll take up later. That tells me that's afferent arteriole. All right. Another model of nephron. This is just a bigger model. All right. So, what's under my fingers? Renal corpuscle. All right. And what's this part right